Hello, everyone. We are back, this time with something new. Might be a little late for me, for this week at least, but the point of the video is to see what is it that I do, or what is it that you do, when it comes to learning a brand new track. This is Circuito de Jerez. Let's see if we can get. So this is the track laid out, or the layout. And I'll be lapping testing for the very first time on this track. I've never driven this track before on any sim, on any game. This is my very first time. And this is for iRacing, as you can see. So my question is, what is it that you do when you're learning a brand new circuit? Do you go full throttle? Do you take your time and start seeing where are the braking points, best lines, what gear you're in, at what speed you're approaching the apex or a particular corner? What is it that you do? So I'll show you what I do. This is not a guide per se, but if there is something that you can learn from what I'm doing, that's actually good, I guess. Uh, if there is something in particular that you do, then drop me a comment on the video and let me know. We can share the knowledge. So here we go. As I'm lapping, as I'm doing some of those laps, I'll be talking as well. Let me get something here ready first. All right. Okay. Let's see, there is a little stutter. So let me minimize a window here. All right. So maybe better. Hopefully. Okay. So the first thing that I do is I'll go for the first 2-3 laps really slow, just to get a sense of what how the layout of the track is. I mean, I've seen this circuit or this track before on TV, especially in Formula One. As you can see, that last corner is where that famous crash between Jacques Villeneuve and Michael Schumacher in 1997, where he was disqualified, Michael Schumacher. So I know, I mean, I've seen the track before, but I've never driven it. So what I do is, for the first 2-3 laps, I'm gonna go really easy. I'll say about I'll do about 70, maybe 80%. First, I want to learn braking points. If I can see references or where to brake. After that, I'll start pushing a little bit. We're turn 1. That seems to be quite slow. Maybe first gear, second gear. gonna start taking notice for markers, boards, trees, tire marks, anything that helps to see where the braking area or the braking point is. Where should I start braking? And I try to memorize, right? I'm sure you do. This is where I almost went off. It's sort of a chicane. So this seems to be full throttle. Maybe. Last corner. Go easy on the way out. So that's my first official lap. Just to get a feel for the track. Lifting nice and easy, way before the apex, or way before the corner. So I saw that 100-meter mark. I'll take that as a reference. I'm still going easy. Still doing about 70-80%. Not really pushing at all. I don't put any particular attention on the balance of the car, what the car is capable of doing. First, I want to learn the track. It's a little better. So easy. Okay. So this is sort of a fast right-hander open backstring. So this watch will be 100-meter right here. Braking early for now. That could be a little faster. Those are my official first 3 laps. Second gear here. Alright, okay. So now what I do after getting
New fast left for you.
an idea of the layout, I'm gonna start learning sectors. So I'm going to focus on the first sector first. I don't care about the second sector. I don't care about the last sector. I'm only going to focus on the first sector. And iRacing has this great feature where you can backtrack or pick a manual sector. So you can go over and over and over again. Which is not a bad idea actually. But in this particular case, I also need to lap on the last sector, so let's take it in second gear. Let's see. That's not bad. This is the fast right-hander. Not too much. Okay, so I guess that was the first sector. On the first sector, I'm doing a 26.9 so far. Let me see where's the end of the first sector.
New fast left for you.
So that was already the first sector. Next second, what? It seems to be almost full speed. Not here though. those are really, really dull curves. Okay, so right now I'll say I'm about 80%, 85%. I'm pushing a little bit, especially on the
70
first
fast
sector.
left of finish.
That wasn't good. Okay, so it's right after that. Right after that left-hander. That's where the first sector ends. I know I'm missing my braking points on the second sector, the last sector, but that's intentional. Let's do one more lap, focusing on the first sector. I'm gonna try to do it at 90%. So the braking point is right where
70
the
fast left of finish.
this incident's right about here. Okay. Wait, oh, okay, so there is a double apex, it seems, right before the back straight. You got 26 flat. I'm going to focus on the second sector. Give me a second. So, the border. Where are you? Capacity. Why is it not? Let me see. Something here. Let's see. Why is this not capturing? One second. Okay. Let's put that here. pointer. Okay, that's better. Oh crap. I've used about half the fuel. I can start probably pushing on the first sector. And then, once I feel comfortable about learning the track, I can start playing with the brake bias. So that was the first sector. This is the second sector. So brake bias at 49.3. Pushing a little bit here. That's too much. Ten laps. Too much. Apparently not. Here's a second apex. That's a good reference. So the entry is way slower than it seems to be. It seems we kind of use the curves. Okay. Second sector. Let's go.
Just take the fastest lap of the session.
It's too much. I've just noticed that light blue which I guess you can say that it's part of the track. there's the second apex. I think there's more time. There's way more time on that last corner. Half a second, maybe more. Just a little bit of time. I'm liking it. Especially the last sector. Once you get into the rhythm, really fluid. But I can tell you it's gonna be a nightmare to pass. It's really difficult. It seems to be at least for me.
Left of the section.
That was a little drifting.
We've got about 5 laps of fuel.
Braking way too early. That was much better. That was about 90%. 95 maybe?
New fast flat for you. of fuel.
Quite tricky the last corner. Last lap. Oh,
You have about 1 lap of fuel left.
I know, I know.
Don't forget to pit this lap for more fuel.
Well, that was fun. Once you get to know the
Pit
layout
stop
and
10, 5, 3, 2, 1. Right here.
I need to move this. Alright, let's see if we can move it. Yeah. No more. That's good.
Move it, move it.
Alright, let's do 15 liters, that's fine. Okay. What happened? No, no, no! 142.9. Oh, 142.19. 109, okay. want to try to break into the 41s with fresh tires, and now that I know the track a little bit. But I'm guessing people are in the 40s, maybe 41s. The exit of that chicane is also really important because this is a passing corner. Here we go. Let's give it what, 3 laps. Well, the tires are not too really up to temperature. Why? Tires are not. Laps. They should be up to temperature, the tires. better. That was not. Too much. Way too much. Let's focus.
Fastest lap of the session.
25.8. Maybe I was pushing a little too much. So I have another probably 3 tenths.
Just the fastest lap of the session.
God damn it. This is very tricky. I think I'm pushing too much here. Same here.
New fast flat for you.
Alright, let me see my fastest sectors. It's what? Sector. Oh, there are four sectors? Really? Optimal sector versus last lap. No. Okay, let's see. Let's put that somewhere else. Can we? So 25-7. Oh, there are four sectors. Okay. So 25-7. This is a very small sector, mini sector. 33-1. I got a 41-4. Let me see. Okay. 41-7, 41-4. That's not bad, but I think I like to get into the low 40s or I'm sorry, low 41s, maybe high 40s. But essentially, that's what I do. We did how many laps? 20, 25 on the last one being my last lap. So that's what it takes me. It usually takes me about between 30 and 40 laps to really get a good feeling of a brand new track. And I'll say 50, 60 plus just to get into a race. The reason is because I don't want to mess with anyone else. I'm guessing people also put in some time lapping around, and I mean I don't want to ruin anyone's race. So that's what I do. The first thing is I do 2-3 laps, maybe up to 5 laps, very slow, 60%, just to get a feeling for the track layout, uh, braking points, reference points. I can see the tire marks on the track, also as a reference. I see these orange rails on the sides; those are also good. Um, then I start working by sectors. First sector, maybe 5 laps. Get a good feeling of the first sectors. Once I feel that I got that down, I move on to the next sector, second sector, and then the last sector. But in this case, there seems to be 4 sectors, which I didn't know. After that, um, I try to put a few hot laps, but I think there is more time. I definitely have another half a second, maybe more, maybe a little more. But this may not be the best car to test on. The Porsche is it's not an easy car to test with. And we also have the brake bias factor that we have to put in. Let me try a few laps with the brake bias. Let's see how big of a difference is. So if I'm looking for rotation, what do I want? That's what I usually ask about myself from the car. If I want a little more rotation, especially on that left hand corner, on the last sector. Let me show you. So here is fine. I think it's fine. There is not a lot of time to be found. This is a tricky one. I don't know the ideal line. I don't think it's this Y line that I'm doing right now. This is the first heavy brake point. Yeah, really heavy brake zone. Here, I think brake bias, playing with the brake bias will help me. This corner right here, the entry especially. I do it in fourth, but I think braking and then shifting back to third might be better. I might increase the brake bias actually a couple points or a couple cleats. Let me try it. Let's see. Does anyone know? I think my ABS. It's locking. So I see yellow. Oh, I messed up. So I see a yellow LED light here and a pink or kind of light purple right here. And I'd like to know, are those the front or the rear tires or brakes that I'm locking? Alright, so let's try. Well, the tires are cold, so let's do a couple of things. Those are the tires. Definitely cold tires. I'm not playing with traction control, ABS, because those are. I'll be trying some of those fix races on the GT3 classes, and I think only the brake bias are allowed. Who went off? 1.56. Nice. I lost the front. That was not enough track. That was a better exit. So I have another 3 tenths. Yeah, I pushed too much. That was a good last sector. 41.6. Last lap 41.8. Let's see what's my delta. 41.3. Okay. It's not bad. Well, was it this lap? Let me see, 41.7. This is 41.6. Oh, I forgot to turn on the telemetry. So I think I got the first sector pretty much covered. These right here. So I need to hit this apex right here. But it seems the brake bias on 50 has helped a little bit. And I can probably take a late apex. This is fine. This corner, that right hander right here, the entry. I think that was too wide. And I keep messing up this one. My God. And I just noticed on the last 5 laps that on the exit, if I don't hit the curb. Now let me try 5 more laps. Last 5. This apex. I need to touch it at least. Cold tires. it's time for a break. All right, but essentially that's what I do. So I'll be back for some racing in a little while, maybe. Maybe tomorrow. See you guys.